No. It's Thursday, March 19, 2026. This is the Common Council meeting, 601. Please take the roll call, please.
Chair, for the record, Plan Commission.
Mayor Nelson is excused but is expected to arrive
Shortly.
Commissioner Specht,
Here.
Commissioner Shago is excused, Commissioner Haley,
Here.
Alderman Salus,
Here.
Alderwoman Day is excused, Commissioner Leon.
Here.
Let's rise to the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to read the rules for the meeting, City of Franklin meeting rules and okay.
Minutes.
All right, okay, now we'll open the floor for the, okay, approval of the minutes.
Yes.
So moved.
All in favor?
Commissioner.
I'll second with a comment.
Okay.
Section D, citizen comment period needs to be corrected. There's a
Oh, yeah.
time impossibility happening there. I'm not sure.
Okay, got it.
Make that correction and we're good.
I'm amenable to the motion to amend, probably meant to be 610, I would guess.
Thank you.
With that amendment, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Let's go to the public hearing for the business matter. I would like to read the rules here. City of Franklin meeting rules and decorum for attendance and participation. For those attending City of Franklin meeting, respectful and orderly conduct is expected at all times. Disruptive or unruly behavior, including but not limited to clapping, verbal disruption, signs, and outbursts will not be tolerated. For those wishing to speak during the City of Franklin meetings, approach the microphone when the chair opens the floor for citizen comments. State your name and address for the record. Address your comments to the council, to the commissioners or committee only. Limit your comments to 3 minutes. No endorsement or electionary or election issues are allowed. Speaker shall refrain from presenting unruly, repetitive, offensive, threatening, slandering, defamatory, or obscene remarks. Person wishing to speak as a spokes on behalf of a neighborhood, subdivision, homeowners, condominium, or business associates or similar groups with a common interest shall demonstrate their qualification to do so according to the City of Franklin Resolution Number 2007-6227 before speaking on behalf of that body. Questions to be answered immediately by the chair or refrain or refer to the city staff or a future reply in a timely manner. Those are attending these rules or decorum for attendees or participants will be asked to leave or removed from the meeting if necessary. We'll open the floor for the citizens' comments.
Chair,
Happens after the public hearing.
point of order. Alderman, point of order. Yeah, if we could maybe move on to item C1, the presentation, and then there will be the opportunity for a public hearing on each public hearing matter for plan.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Planning Manager Regulo Martinez. This is the subject property. It's located at Forest Home Avenue and it's an industrial zone property. And the area to the south that we can see here is mostly wetlands, and that's part of the request for the natural resource special exception. So the proposed work is to the installation of a storm sewer connecting from the parking lot to the existing detention pond, and that will impact the wetlands. And that kind of triggers the requirement of the natural resource special exception. In addition to that, most of this area that we can see in the orange boundary, it's an isolated natural resource area delineated by the Regional Planning Commission. And the applicant is proposing kind of to restore the impacted area and also to provide compensation, which is creating this additional wetland buffer area by seeding. There is a requirement for compensation. There's a minimum ratio that is 1.5, and the proposal meets that ratio because they are restoring the area that is impacting and creating a new wetland buffer. This application was presented before the Parks Commission. The Parks Commission recommended approval. The staff is also recommended approval, and the conditions is the establishment of a conservation easement that will require a separate approval by Common Council, and the applicant will need to follow the Natural Resource Protection Plan for the compensation and restoration of the natural areas impacted. And then I can proceed to read the public hearing notice. Notice of public hearing, City of Franklin Plan Commission, hearing date Thursday, March 19, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Common Council Chambers at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132. Applicant is Carly Bayer, Enercon Companies, Inc. Property is located at 11311 West Forest Home Avenue. The proposal, natural resource special exception to allow for impacts to a wetland and related buffers on the south side of the property. Site work will be done to improve a drainage to a detention pond. Site restoration and additional compensation plannings will be provided. This public hearing is held pursuant to the requirement of Wisconsin Statutes 6223(7)(d)(2) and Section 15908(b)(2)(b) of the Unified Development Ordinance. A map of the affected property, all application materials, and the proposed resolution are available at the Department of City Development at Franklin City Hall. The public is invited to attend the public hearing and to provide input. The proposed resolution is subject to revisions following public hearing and the further consideration by the Plan Commission and the Common Council.
Point of order. The chair of Plan Commission walked in at 6:08 p.m. for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Leon.
Mayor, if I may, Mr. Martinez, is the applicant present tonight? Okay. Do we want to have him come up to the table as per usual?
I think so.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, good evening and welcome. So, Mr. Martinez, I'm assuming that what are we on right now?
We need to open the public hearing.
For C1?
Correct.
Thank you. Okay, if you just want to state your, ma'am, start with you, your name and address for the record, and sir, after that.
Carly Bayer is Enercon business address.
Let's bring it towards you.
Okay. Our business address is 8575 West Forest Home Avenue, Suite 160 in Greenfield, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Jeff Yerson, R.A. Smith, civil engineer, 16745 West Blue Mound Road, Brookfield.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. So at this point, are there any questions right now from? None? Okay. Anything you want to add? I didn't hear citizen comment period from the hearing. We're not there yet? Okay, good.
We're opening the public hearing.
Excellent.
We need to open the public hearing.
I know, but did you
So
read?
the public
did you-
notice was
did you
read as
read-
you
I
walked
did.
in.
Oh, I didn't know you read the notice already.
Okay.
Okay. So it is 6:10 PM. We're open a public hearing on this. Anybody wishing to speak and speak only on this item, come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, close it at 6:10 PM. Questions from the council? Commission? Nothing? Mr. Salus?
I did go through this. Yeah, I did go through the paperwork, and this is a legitimate call, you know, with having moisture under the parking lot will fail in no time. So basically, the remedy you presented here is very valid and legitimate, and I think, you know, I'm fully in support of that.
Appreciate it.
Mr. City Attorney? Can you hit his button?
Conservation easement in the Plan Commission agenda packet.
Can you hit his button, please?
You got to update the notary for the city.
Correct, because it's the old template, but that will get corrected. However, for this meeting, we are not approving the conservation easement.
Right.
That will
But
present
I'm
on a
just
separate-
saying, because it's already, you got a mortgage holder consent for, so needs to be taken care of.
If I may, sorry, we did receive a revised document with the updates regarding the mayor's name and then the notary. So it's just, it hasn't been recorded or confirmed yet. So it's under review currently, which I don't see an issue with, and then we'll proceed to get approval.
Point that out.
Thank you.
Motion.
Motion to approve the Plan Commission finding and decision on the natural resource special exception of the City of Franklin ordinance for Enercon Companies, Inc. applicant located at 11311 West Forest Home Avenue.
So moved.
I second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. So going to the second one, is there going to be some sort of action on this?
It's a public hearing.
C2?
He presents.
C2, if you want to read it.
Land by label development, land division variance, and certified survey map. Request for approval of a 4-lot certified survey map for the Poth General Development with a land division variance from section 15802D and section 15802N of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow a flag lot with a lot width of 50 feet for Lot 3, opposed to the minimum requirement lot width abutting a public street of 60 feet for property located at approximately 7154 South 76th Street.
Thank you. Is there a representative of Land by Label here? Would you like to step up here? I know what I'm messing with. Would you like to step up here, please? Thank you. So I know there may be some questions or some answering. If you would just please state your name and business address for the record, please.
Sure. Good evening. I'm Emily Cialdini with Land by Label, 638 Milwaukee Street, Delafield, Wisconsin.
Okay, good evening and welcome. So, is there any sort of presentation that's going to be put on by you at this time, or are you going to take it?
I can present the
Okay,
highlight.
go ahead. Thank you.
This is the existing lot configuration, 3 lots. This is associated with the Poth General Development Project. And there are 2 applications. One is the certified survey map, one to create 4 lots of out of the 3 existing lots. So Lot 1 will be for commercial use, as well as Lot 3, also commercial, and Lot 4 is for the existing Ace Hardware store. And Lot 2 is mixed use, but primarily apartments. The uses and the site plan that you see here has been already previously approved. The uses by the Plan Development District Ordinance and the site plan by a resolution. We can see here, this is the certified survey map. This is kind of actually 2 pages of the certified survey map that depicts the 4 lots proposed. The applicant is also proposing a conservation easement to protect the existing natural resources. That is a requirement by the ordinance. And the other application is the land division variance, kind of to request 2 deviations from the Unified Development Ordinance. One is the minimum lot width is 60 feet, and what is proposed is 50 feet. However, this is an existing condition. We can see here that is already there for the driveway that is giving access to the shopping center. So one of the reasons for recommending approval of the land division variance is that it's an existing condition. It's not created by the applicant. And the other reason is the hardship, because compliance with this requirement will require the applicant to acquire land that is not controlled by them, so that is a hardship. And the other deviation that is requested is that Lot 3 is considered a flag lot, because kind of has access through this narrow strip, and that is prohibited by the ordinance. Again, this narrow street is existing and is not being created by the certified survey map. That's why staff is recommending approval of the land division variance. And also the applicant is proposing a public access easement that will give access to Lot 3 and all the other lots. Yeah, that's basically the highlights. And there is a correction to the resolution for the land division variance. That is to remove the 3rd whereas. That is kind of a repetition.
Could you say it one more time, please?
In the land division variance resolution, one of the whereas at the beginning of the resolution is repeated. So the correction is to eliminate the 3rd whereas.
Okay. So what we'll do is you'll be reading a notice for the public hearing.
Yes, there is.
And then what I'm explaining, then the people come up, and if they have any questions or comments that you can answer, please do it after we close the hearing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's no hearing for the certified survey map. However, the variance requires a public hearing. So, notice of public hearing, City of Franklin Plan Commission, hearing date Thursday, March 19, 2026, at the Common Council Chambers at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin 53132. Applicant Emily Cialdini, Land by Label, LLC. Property approximately located at 7154 South 76th Street. The proposal is the land division variance from Section 15802D and Section 15802M of the Unified Development Ordinance for Lot 3 of the concurrently submitted certified survey map to allow a flagged lot with a lot width of 50 feet, opposed to the minimum requirement lot width abutting a public street of 60 feet. This public hearing is being held pursuant to the requirements of Table 15905B and Section 15907 of the Unified Development Ordinance. A map of the affected property, all application materials, and the proposed ordinance are available at the Department of City Development at Franklin City Hall. The public is invited to attend the public hearing and to provide input. The proposed variance and certified survey map resolution are subject to revisions following public hearing and the further consideration by the Plan Commission and the Common Council.
Thank you. So we'll be opening up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on C2 and C2 alone, please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and You may want to test it to make sure it's working.
Linda Mathwig, 7321 Brun Drive. Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight to express my concern about the request land division variance for the proposed 4-lot certified survey map at 7154 South 76th Street. At this time, I respectfully urge the Plan Commission to refrain from making any major determinations on this item. This past Tuesday, the Common Council voted to table the POTS general development, signaling that there are still questions surrounding the project. Taking action at this meeting before the Common Council has completed its review, in particular relating to TID 10, would be premature and could complicate the process. I also want to emphasize that residents are concerned about the timing and the way the land is being reconfigured, while the key decisions regarding blight remains unresolved. Specifically, Lot 2 combines parcels of different physical conditions, including 2 open vacant land parcels and the existing strip mall. Since TID 10 is not approved, I ask that this matter be tabled until the Common Council makes a decision. It would be more appropriate to consider the proposed layout once there is clarity whether POTS General will move forward with the development at this site. In light of these uncertainties, the Plan Commission should proceed cautiously and defer consideration until the Common Council has reached a final determination. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak at this hearing? If not, I'm going to close the hearing.
Basil Ryan, Franklin, Wisconsin, candidate for mayor. Could we go back to the one with the lot? The flag lot. Okay. So I'm a little confused. Flag lots, I know it pertain to residential, but are you saying for commercial also?
For all lots.
Okay, but I'm asking because we had a discussion on something else earlier, a couple weeks ago, and we realized there was a difference for that. So does it say specifically for commercial or is it residential?
The restriction is for all types of lots, regardless of the zoning district.
In the business, correct?
The restriction applies to all lots, residential, commercial.
And that's what I want to make sure. That, you know, because it was always my understanding that it pertained to residential,
No.
that there was. So in the new UDO, that was changed then to make it all lots?
It has always been like that. The ordinance, the current ordinance, the former ordinance only say lots. So residential lots, commercial lots, any lots.
Okay, so for example, you do a development and you have roads that go back through commercial property, shopping centers, whatever, to get to other businesses. That's illegal in Franklin?
Well, because the code said that lots needs to abut a public street.
Right, but a lot of
So-
shopping and commercial developments have where their access road isn't really a street anymore. It's basically contained within the development. So
Well-
that becomes their own. So if we're we're discussing. So if we're arguing street, that's the public's responsibility. Inside the framework of that development, that's the responsibility of the developer. So how would we be labeling flag lots within commercial property? That's what I'm puzzled on.
I mean, I don't understand your question. If there is a lot that is being created that is a flag lot, which is basically that the access is to a narrow street of land that doesn't meet the minimum width, typically it will need this land division variance.
Okay, but that's why they're coming before you, is they already know that that's too narrow. But they are saying because it's grandfathered pre-existing that it is, so then why wouldn't it apply to that lot? Because what you're saying is, again, it's contained within the development, the city doesn't regulate inside the development. That's the developer that forms the plans, shows the roads and all of that. And if he has it, because there's, for example, a lot of your shopping centers, you're never going to get a semi in there. They got to go to the back of the building where it's designed for that. So something like this here, that would be designed for cars and shoppers, not commercial deliveries.
So the variance request is because this lot 3 is being proposed now and technically needs to comply with the ordinance, doesn't comply with this requirement. That's why the applicant is requesting a variance.
But it's contained with inside the development.
It's because it doesn't meet a requirement of the ordinance. That's why
Okay.
the purpose of the variance.
I still disagree, but I'll move on. So then, say they make another lot next to that one as part of the development, then is that going to be labeled as a flag and they got to come before another variance? For example, the developer puts another building next to this one in the future. Does that make it a flag lot? You can't do that?
If they are just doing a building, it will be a site plan because they are not creating another lot.
I'm saying if they create another lot. For example, that same project there, we created years ago Walgreens. So we had the whole structure development, then Walgreens was contained within the main part, but Walgreens wanted to go independent and they wanted to have their own property. We, in a sense, the city, created another lot so Walgreens could go there and have their own. So what I'm asking is, if the developer decides to sell and make another lot, as you keep saying, does that mean he can't do that because that makes it a flag lot? And he'd have to come before the city again for a variance?
In that hypothetical situation, they will need to apply for a new certified survey map to create another lot. And if that new lot doesn't meet a requirement of the ordinance, they will need to apply for another variance.
Okay, just so you realize, I think there's a difference of opinion. There might have to be a legal. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this hearing on this item? Seeing no one? 6:27, close the hearing. Questions from plan commissioners?
Just,
Alderman Salus.
to me, it looks like this is, this is an access road to a lot, otherwise it will be landlocked. I'm not really sure if this, the 60-foot minimum frontage applies. This is just an access road to reach a lot that otherwise will be landlocked. So,
Well, the code says that any new lot will need to face or abut a public street, and the minimum width at the public street needs to be 60 feet.
so the minimum, the 60 applies to the street, it's not necessarily to the lot. I see. Okay, I understand. Thanks.
Any other commissioners up here? Mr. Martinez, anything more to add to this at this point?
No, there are two motions, one for the land division variance, one for the certified survey.
Ma'am, anything more you'd like to add to this?
No, no,
Because there was a point brought up by Ms. Mathwig about,
the timing.
right,
Schedule. Yeah, respectfully, we'd request for the Plan Commission to act on this item tonight. It will be forwarded to the Common Council. My understanding is that Common Council meeting would be April 8th and could be in conjunction with any action taken on the TIF, though that's not yet determined. So we'd like to align the schedule there with the Common Council.
that's all I wanted to ask.
Just to add that if the Plan Commission approve it, the land division variance will be approved tonight, and then what it goes to before council is the certified survey map condition on the
The condition,
on
correct.
the land division variance.
Okay, that was my question to you. So if you want, if you can hit Jesse's button. Mr. City Attorney.
Mr. Planner, with regard to this should not be adopted unless PID number 10 is approved, is that a requirement? whatsoever?
No.
That's what I was going to ask you prior. All right, so why don't we start with the first of two?
Land division variance. A motion to adopt a resolution approving a land division variance from section 15802D and section 15802N of the Unified Development Ordinance for Lot 3 of a proposed 4-lot certified survey map for properties located approximately at 7154 South 76th Street.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Motion number two.
Certified survey map. A motion to recommend approval of a resolution approving a 4-lot certified survey map for properties located at approximately 7154 South 76th Street.
Striking whereas number 3, so moved.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item D as in David, citizen comment period. Anybody wishing to comment on items E1, 2, or 3? E1, 2, or 3, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. And now this is under the 3-minute guideline. This is under 3 minute. Good evening, Mrs. Knoll.
Hello. Let's see, is this on?
A little more.
Okay, yeah, okay, good. I'm just going to talk about the rock and some concerns.
Could you just state your name and address, please,
Oh,
for the record?
sorry. Amy Knoll, 8610 West Hawthorne Lane, Franklin.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just going to talk about the topic of the rock and just a little bit more concerned about the sound again, which I know some of you have heard many times, but some of you have not. Okay, for about 10 years, the neighborhood residents have been communicating about excessive noise from the rock, not only into our yards, but into our homes so that we can't escape it. This includes the baseball stadium, the umbrella bar, the 24/7 snow machines, and other special events. I would like to read a little bit of what I presented to the Common Council meeting this past Tuesday. Sorry about, some of you have heard this already or part of it. Throughout the last 10 years or so, I have personally learned about that the science of sound can be very complicated. I know that it does not travel the same from one point throughout a single neighborhood or area. So I'm thinking of the one point being the rock, and when it would go through a neighborhood or an area, it bounces around depending upon what's in its path. 2 sound studies have already been done or partially done. And I've asked that after 10 years, the goal could be set to use the sound studies to contain the sound from the rock to within their boundaries. Sound checks, we've tried sound checks and decibel numbers, and they just don't seem to work as well because the science of sound is really quite complicated. I was asking also that the Common Council defer special licensing until the noise sound problem is solved and a plan implemented. I'm just asking the Planning Commission that you do communicate with the Common Council and/or the mayor to see where they are on this 10-year sound noise problem before you come to any conclusions, as they are looking into recommendations by the sound study. Bottom line, the neighbors are asking for the city of Franklin to do what needs to be done in order to contain sounds within, any sounds from the rock within their property. Decibel levels have, that we've tried already do not seem to work very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Knoll.
Dana Gint, 9011 West Hawthorne Lane. I'm here to speak
I gotta time this.
about the 93 events at the Rock on the agenda packet, including 69 home baseball games in Franklin Field and 23 food truck events, plus a helicopter candy drop and the ongoing adverse impact of noise on surrounding neighborhoods from these operations. The Rock Planned Development District, PDD 37, established over a decade ago, is very clear. it requires the stadium and the entire sports complex area to implement a superior sound system specifically to minimize adverse impacts on adjacent properties. It also requires that the development comply with the standard of the P1 Park District and that all approvals are based on those standards and with the intention and maximum decibel allowance of 55 decibels to be contained and controlled within the premises. In addition, staff reports going back to 2018 clearly state that the receiving district determines the allowable decibel level at the property line. For residential districts, that is 50 decibels during the day and 45 at night. Those same reports confirm that the ROC is assuming the wrong decibel levels for their activities and that the correct standard is 55 decibels within their property. Plus, the property line noise is required to be compliant with the receiving district property line decibel levels. I acknowledge that the city can increase decibels within the premises, but increasing decibels into surrounding districts for the ROC for the past 13 years is unacceptable and a tort. These standards to protect quality of life have been in place for over a decade, yet they have not been meaningfully enforced. As a result, noise from the ROC events, baseball games, outdoor live music, outdoor DJs regularly travels well beyond the property boundary into surrounding neighborhoods for miles. This is not by accident. This is a loud, intentional approval by the city to harm surrounding neighborhoods. There have been over 1,300 documented noise complaints from residents in Franklin, Greendale, and Hills Corners. This chronic noise nuisance directly contradicts both the intent and the enforceable standards of the PDD and the ordinance in the surrounding district. The PDD has been in default since 2019 when the stadium opened, and longer for that for the other venues broadcasting amplified noise, often without proper approvals, review, or required mitigation. In 2020, the city's own plan manager identified the foundational causes of these noise issues, which included designs issues for the ROC Sports Complex overall, and specifically Franklin Field, from a lack of vertical elements designed to block sound, the absence of sound barriers, and an inadequately designed sound system, and overall lack of understanding in how sound travels. These issues remain unresolved today. I also want to address the food truck events. These events are requesting increased decibel levels, yet there's not an entertainment application on file as required under Resolution 2024-8109 for activities that have the potential to generate noise outside their premises. At the same time, these events have been repeatedly described as acoustic. By definition, acoustic means no electronic amplification. However, amplified sound is clearly being requested without proper submittal of entertainment applications.
3 minutes, ma'am. 3 minutes.
There's also ongoing
you.
confusion regarding allowable noise limits. It is important to understand that the sound is measured as a logarithmic scale. A 10 decibel increase is not minor. It's a substantial increase in perceived loudness. Increased allowable decibels to 65 decibels would significantly
3
intensify
minutes and
the
25 seconds, Dana. You
The
have to
gentleman
end it.
last night spoke for
Have to
12
end it.
minutes.
No, this is
gentleman
different.
last
This is the
spoke for
plan
12 minutes.
commission. You've already stated it. It's
Sorry.
all fine. No,
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay.
I'll refer, or
That's okay.
I'll give her some of my time, since I didn't bring my.
well, I'll tell you what. Dana, can you finish up in a minute?
Sure. Find my place. Okay.
Nice guy.
The stadium sound system should not allow noise spilling into surrounding neighborhoods, especially for 69 events for the Franklin Field and another 23 dates for food trucks. Additionally, the actual ambient noise levels in the Hawthorne neighborhood is around 40 decibels, as witnessed by several local media on Tuesday. It is not the 55 decibels stated in public meetings by elected officials. So the increase from 55 or even 65 is a substantial increase. Residents are simply asking that the rules already in place be followed to restore the quiet enjoyment and quality of life, which has significantly diminished over the past 13 years. Thank you for your time.
Linda Mathwig, 7321 Brun Drive. I just want to express that I live over a mile and a half, or about a little bit over a mile away. And for me to be able to hear the announcers at the Milkman games living over a mile away, I just think is unreasonable. Same with the Umbrella Bar. This is supposed to be a casual, quaint gathering there, and I can hear the music from my house. Regarding the larger events, which is not on the agenda item, It gets really noisy. In fact, a neighbor here can verify that their windows were rattling. So I just want you to take into consideration the constituents, except for one who lives closer by. You don't realize what we have to go through, and this has been going on for over a decade. So I'd really would like you to consider what is being proposed on the agenda tonight.
I have a comment. Basil Ryan, candidate for mayor. Transparency is something that's come up in this election. But I want to ask a question. If someone comes before another committee or the Common Council and makes a comment that they're all for a project and that they then sit on a board that comes for judgment, is that open and fair government when they've already voiced an opinion in support of something and said they support all the activities? Would that be a conflict that maybe they shouldn't be weighing in on an item because they've already disclosed it? When we had an ethics board, you weren't allowed to do that, because then if you voiced your concern on a topic prior to an event that would come before your committee, you had to say you have a conflict because you already have weighed in on it. So the person's coming to speak for or against it would feel that government is basically corrupt because they've already made a decision and let the world know about it. Transparency. Thank you.
Good evening.
Katie Kropp, and I live
Can you bring
at,
this real close, ma'am?
sorry about that.
Oh, just bring it down.
Oh,
Thank you.
can you hear me? Awesome. Katie Kropp, and I live at 7524 South 73rd Street. I just wanted to share a little bit of information that I was just looking up, just because it's also been a nuisance for me greatly, all of the noise that is going on all throughout the summer. So just want to I guess, put a nugget in your head regarding some things that it seems like haven't even really been brought up as much. First off, the total weekend days, and this is just even from May 1st to September 1st. Total weekend days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 54 days. The venue impact in itself, concerts every weekend or fireworks every weekend, that's potentially in itself 26 plus loud nights. And obviously in Wisconsin, we live for summers. That's all we talk about pretty much for half of the year. And so that in itself, 26 out of 54 days where we have to deal with noise, period, from just a venue is just, I think, kind of ridiculous. And just regarding, though, too, the wind and noise. So summer winds, on average, are 8 to 9 miles per hour throughout the entire summer. Windy days, which are greater than 10 miles per hour, enough to carry sound farther, those are roughly 25 to 35 days across the period of just May 1st to September 1st. So wind, especially southwest wind, pushes bass and booms into homes, even with windows shut, as I have unfortunately experienced regularly. Also, one thing that I think is super important, and I haven't been to a lot of these meetings as of yet, but I'm surprised, I guess, in a way that it also hasn't been something mentioned yet or to consider, which is the approximate number of veterans in Franklin are 1,665. Fireworks link. So as we know with veterans on average, hearing fireworks, loud booms are classic PTSD triggers. Up to 20% of post 9/11 veterans nationwide are affected.
I agree.
Also, neurodivergence and children, autism in southeastern Wisconsin, including Franklin, 3.8% of 8-year-old neurodivergent children on average.
At 3:30, ma'am.
One out of 26. Also, though, with the fireworks, one thing that it would be ideal if could at least be suggested or considered is why not just even go to drone fireworks? You know, that's what a lot of venues, what have you, are doing. And so I don't know if that has already been discussed, but even just drone light is on average 50 decibels at ground level.
You're at 410, ma'am. We just
Okay.
gave you a little extra.
I'm sorry.
No,
Thank
no.
you so much.
You made some great points, but thank you.
Thank you very much.
See no one else? Close citizen comment period. Moving on to E1. Rock Ventures, Franklin Field, temporary use, 2026 baseball season from March 20th to September 7th and related operations. Food and beverage sales, beverage carts, food truck, graduation ceremony, and candy drop at Franklin Field located at 7035 South Ballpark Drive. Tax key number 744-1003-000. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Just please state your name and business address for the record before we get moving. And bring it close to you.
Dan Kinsey, President Rock Ventures, Milkman, 7035 South Ballpark.
Chris Conley, same address.
Well done. Okay, so moving forward, I'll speak last if somebody wants to speak up first. Anybody? Okay, so what do you got in your mind tonight with this item?
I guess I can start off with some of the comments that were made tonight. I do want to just point out a few different things. So with the whole 55 decibels, last year we did put in to increase that sound level to 65. So that's what we were referencing off of. And again, that's what we were kind of putting for in this year as well, hoping that there was no change. Along with that, last season we didn't have any citations throughout the baseball season. And again, with that process of any complaints that come in, the Franklin Police Department receives the complaint. What they would do is call me directly, and then we were able to, in time, make an adjustment to pull back if we needed to. So I just wanted to make that point. And again, we did this increase because the year prior in 2024, we noticed a lot of backlash from our fans that could not hear anything that was going on in the ballpark. Just for reference, our net promoter score that we send out to all of our fans at the end of the season, the year prior we had over 400 people that responded to this. After 2024, our participation was 80% down from that. People just didn't really care anymore because it was that bad of a product. So we wanted to obviously make the change for our fans and make the product better. So that is what I had. I just wanted to touch on some of those questions.
Okay. I know this candy drop was referenced. So now I knew the first year they had it, it was crazy because apparently it was circling around the neighborhood and then dropped it, and that was not good. Then what did you do to fix that?
Right. So the last 2 years, I believe, I'm in constant communication with the helicopter company, the pilot specifically prior to the event. In the last 2 years, I specifically requested that they stay south and east of the property. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure last year they came in like directly to the stadium. They did not hover anywhere west of the ballpark.
So that wasn't an issue.
Was not.
Good. Okay. And who's the graduation ceremony for?
We do not have one scheduled at the moment. We just put it in there just in case. Sometimes there's fallbacks if there's any issues on someone's school or anything like that.
Okay. Mr. Leon?
Thank you, Mayor. I think I made the same recommendation last year, but I believe the applicant made a strong case for increasing the decibel level to 65. So I would be amenable to increasing that in the motion, obviously subject to staff and the other members of Plan Commission.
Mr. Martinez, and then Mr.
Yes.
Sluse.
One clarification that the request to increase the maximum permitted sound level is not up to the Plan Commission. That needs to go before the Common Council.
But we could recommend
Yes,
increase,
but the
which-
decision is up to the council.
I'm relying on a one-year-old memory, but I believe last year, the same request was made by the applicant. I recommended that Plan Commission recommend to council that it be increased to 65. As the applicant was going through the business case for that increase, I heard of and heard similar concerns with the sound level. I believe that the 65 decibels is a good point, understanding that there are those who disagree, and I respectfully think that this is a good measure, and that the applicant, the operator, I should say, over the years has made adjustments to address concerns of neighbors. So I would support increasing to 65, but if that were to fail, I would support keeping it at current level. But I really do think that to have the type of product that's listed in these types of events, most of them anyway, that would be the appropriate sound level.
Okay, Mr. Sluse.
I just would like to commend the staff that I like the fact that you stated what's the ordinance, what's the allowed level within the ordinance in the packet, which is 55. And, considering the amount of issues surrounding the sound, I'm hoping that, The Rock use some other innovative measures, make sure that their audience, hear very well what's going on, and at the same time without causing any disturbance to the neighborhood. So I would prefer to see it, to keep it within the 55 level, and hopefully you guys will make some necessary adjustment to make sure that, your audience will hear very well what's going on. Sometimes there is technology issues, pointing the speaker height. There is so many issues surrounding sound that, it's beyond my pay scale, but I'm comfortable with the 55. I yield.
Okay, so what is the suggested motion on this? And then I maybe have an amended to add yours, and then if it doesn't go.
So with regards to the sound level, so the condition is that the temporary use must comply with the sound level of 55 unless the council approve higher sound levels pursuant to municipal code.
So as far as I see it, this wouldn't be the place to add that decibel limit. I'm a second. So then it is a council action. The council did decide last year to allow 65. But to Mr. Leone's point, he'll add to it if he wishes to, add that to a motion. And if the motion carries, it carries as a recommended part of the body. If it doesn't and it fails, then it would go back to the regular motion. Mr. Leone.
So I'm amenable to either. But again, having listened to the comments from the public during citizen comment and to the applicant, I believe that a recommendation from this body to council that increases by 10 decibels allows greater flexibility by the operator to adjust. That if ultimately council limits to 55, because I recognize it's their decision, I believe it's more limiting. So I think coming out of this body that we should make that recommendation. But I'm not, I would go forward with 55 as well so that they could do them. But I guess I would, during the vote, if we stick with 55, add the comment to council that as one member of this body, I encourage them to give greater flexibility to the applicant.
And to add to that is last year was 65. So last year operated at 65 at the Milkman Field. So this is.
Within that 65, that entire
regular?
Yeah, I just want to add another point that last time I checked the sound portal with the monitor data, it was off. However, I sent an email to the applicant. Applicant said that they will be back on for the season.
That's correct.
Well, from what I talked, when I brought that up to Mr. Zimmerman, he said it was going to be on by time the umbrella bar opens right around that 1st of April.
That is correct, that will happen.
Okay. So with that said, you can make a motion to recommend, the normal motion and add the up to 65 decibels as operated last year is how I would add it, because it's not like we're forging, but I don't vote, you guys vote. So if that's, you make your motion the way he read it, but do you want to add to it?
I would, and that's what I would add, and if it fails, then we move to as is.
A motion to adopt a resolution imposing conditions and restrictions for the approval of a temporary use for the Franklin Field 2026 baseball season for property located at 7035 South Ballpark Drive.
I'll pause because I saw Commissioner Speck had a
Speck?
comment.
A couple questions. What are the consequences if the sound monitoring system is not on by first opening date of the umbrella bar?
Well,
We're being assured that it's going to be, but what happens if it's not? I guess that's the part of this, because that's a wonderful tool that shows everybody in real time. So, but that's a good question. What happens if it's not?
if that happened, then it will be kind of a violation of the temporary use conditions and the ordinance, and then the city can send a notice of violation to the applicant.
And just to make sure I understood it correctly, how many number of complaints were received last year in regards to sound? Corrective action had to be completed?
I don't have that answer off the top of my head, but I know there were no citations given. And again, if I did get a call from the police department, we would also be checking on our phones, laptops to see where we were at. And if we were above that 65, we would make that adjustment.
Could I get a perspective of approximate magnitude? 20, 30?
Oh, no.
1?
I would say less than 5.
And do you have anyone monitoring the system during your events to give maybe you a cell phone warning or something that
Yeah.
you can be more proactive on this?
So our,
Call from the police department?
so our DJ has it up on another monitor while he is operating throughout the game.
I think some folks have mentioned more about the wind does affect other levels. And as he plays the music, he's going to the wind, the levels and things of the night, he's able to adjust our parameters.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we had a first on a motion.
I hadn't made the motion yet, but if there are no other questions, I will make the motion with the change that we already talked about in condition 3, increasing it to 65, understanding it's a recommendation to council. That's my motion.
Okay, that's the motion. Is there a second? Is there a second to the suggested motion? Hearing none, would you like to make a different motion?
I would leave it to another member of the commission
Well-
if they want to go forward with that.
So how about, is there a motion to, as stated by
stated.
Mr. Martinez?
I make a motion as stated.
I second.
First and a second. All those in favor?
Can we do a roll call on it?
Okay, roll call, please, Mr. Martinez.
Commissioner Specht,
Aye.
Commissioner Haley,
Aye.
Alderman Salus,
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye, with the comment that I encourage council to approve 65 decibels.
4 ayes, no noes, motion carries. E2.
Boutte? E2 Boutte?
What? E2, Rock Ventures, Rock and Food Truck Rally, temporary use food truck event from May 28th to October 29th, 2026, Thursdays only, at the Umbrella Bar located at 7005 South Ballpark Drive, 744-1003-000. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome. If you just state your name and business address for the record, please. All right. Good evening. I know we've got information in our packet. Do you have anything to add to the, so any of the comments that were made about the food trucks and anything like that? I mean,
To my knowledge, there were,
can you bring it closer to you? Thank you.
to my knowledge, there were no food truck rally. And if I remember, calls from any type of thing to the sound.
Okay. How many food trucks do you normally have on a Thursday?
We are, we have the ability to have.
Okay. So you have up to 10. Do you normally have 10? Because it's very popular.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a waiting list to be a food truck up at the Rock?
We do have food trucks on Friday.
Physically or just verbally? Okay. So we've got that. Is there live music? Is there amplified music coming from these food trucks?
From the food trucks, no.
Okay. And with these food trucks, I know a number of them that you've brought in since you've started this have internal generators, or they're not like the old ones that you see on the street. You know, I'm walking at 35th Street where I go for incredible tacos, but anyway, where they're actually outside running and loud. So most of them have internal generators. That's a big deal. Okay, so you've made some strides in that. Great. Other questions from members? Mr. Salus?
Just regarding last year, you mentioned that there was no complaints, which is good to hear. Do you have any idea what is the decibel level coming out of the music being played at the stage? Like, you know, just like if for example, if it's within the range of 50 or 55, then I don't see a reason to go beyond that. So do you have an idea what was the actual level played last year?
Last year we were generally
Do you feel like the 55 would be just like a minor adjustment, and this way we will be compliant with the ordinance if we stay within the 55?
I submit requested.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So last year you were approved at 65, correct? Thank you. All right, any further comments at this point? Is there a motion, sir?
A motion to adopt a resolution imposing conditions and restrictions for the approval of a temporary use for the Rock and Food Truck Rally for property located at 7005 South Ballpark Drive.
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there a second to the general motion? They have a,
Just a clarification, the only issue I'm concerned about is the decibel level. Is the motion considering the 65 or the 55?
The motion is not approving a sound level increase. That increase request will go to Common Council, scheduled April 8.
this is just the event, sir.
The event, okay, all right, okay, then I should be okay.
So are you seconding the motion?
I second the motion.
Okay, we've got a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. E3, pronounced Jerovac land combination, request to recommend approval of a land combination application for properties located at 11836 and 0 West St. Martin's Road. Tax key numbers 797-9941-000 and 797-9942-000. Mr. Martinez, you have the floor.
Thank you. This proposal is to combine two residential lots. This one has a single-family home, and the other parcel is vacant. And the resulting parcel will comply with the minimum lot area, minimum width standards of the Unified Development Ordinance. Staff is recommending approval of the land combination.
Is the applicant here? Mr. Jarvik? Good evening and welcome. Have a seat right up here. I don't foresee questions, but you never know. If you don't mind just stating your name and business address for the record, please.
Sure. Marco Garvac, 11836 West St. Martin's Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132.
Okay, good evening and welcome. Questions from Plan Commission members?
Just a
Mr. Salus.
quick question. So this is like two residential lots, and you're combining them for what purpose? Are you planning to change it into commercial down the road, or?
No, I have 4 kids and I want to expand the house. And the house is right on the lot.
On the lot line?
Yeah. So it's been in the family since my grandpa had it, so
Okay.
it probably should have been done a long time ago.
That's great. Just for my.
Yeah, it's basically to do something with the house. Yeah.
I'm supportive. I have no issues.
Thank you.
Good. Sounds wonderful. Motion, please.
A motion to recommend approval of a resolution approving a land combination for 11836 and 0 West St. Martin's Road.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are off the record. 7:06 PM. Could you please take us off the record? 7:06.